Hey, good afternoon, everybody. My guys or little ladies here have been in their new nest going on 24 hours. So I thought I would go ahead and share with you the progress. So, yesterday, it looked like the queen had moved over, and I can't see her in here. So it looks like the queen may have moved back over to the other nest, which is fine. This was, kind of what I was expecting or anticipating was that, trying to move this a little bit to get rid of that flash. Yeah, well, not gonna work. Anyway, so I was kind of anticipating that the queen wouldn't move. I was actually surprised how quickly she did move over. But that's fine. The intent was always for the colony to move at their own pace and to leave the replacement queen in the other nest if they so choose. And it looks like they choose, and I am okay with that. So, so far so good. Again, 24 hours. The majority of the colony, I've seen them move the brood over and then move them back. What you see on the bottom there are fruit flies. I've given them some fruit flies this evening, so it looks like they went out and got them. Since these guys have gotten a little bit larger in the previous, the mini hearth with the foraging area, it's been very difficult to feed them, just because so many ants have been in the foraging area, and after a while the flu one just stops working, especially in such a small foraging area. So I'm hoping now that I've got them, and I've found some of them have been able to feed the fluon in this nest as well, so I don't know if it loses its potency over what after some time. I'm not certain, but I've seen a few of them running around in the lid, but far fewer, and I think I can control it better in this nest than I could in the mini hearth. And granted, I can chill them so that they slow down, but that wasn't something I wanted to do repeated cycles of chilling them so I could feed them. So now that they're in this nest, I've got a much larger foraging area. The hope is that I can provide much more nutrition to them, and the colony will just grow exponentially. So I'm excited, for that. So they're doing good. They moved very quickly. They took very favorably to the nest, the foraging area, and like I said, the ability to feed them very well is important to me. And I'm going to be able to do that now in this nest. Mac did and when I refer to Mac, I'm referring to Tar Heel Ants, one at his company makes these formicariums, and he did a phenomenal job with the expansion chamber, which is what you're looking at. And as you can see, I'm going to just move around here so you guys can kind of see what he did. Extended the base of the fortress, giving me the ability to connect my fortress to the mini hearth. And there's my foraging area. So and I've got my nest made up there, which is they're wonderful. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the old nest, see how they're looking in there. Now, if the queen starts getting bothered by the light, I'll probably end up cutting this video short. And they were getting really crammed in there, so I was really getting anxious to get the expansion chamber so they had a little bit more room to move around, which they now have. So we got the larvae in there, so most of the brood is in the old nest. You can see the repletes, they're doing okay. There's a good image of one right there. I haven't been able to get too many real good shots of these repletes. It's gotten so crowded in this nest over the last year, or 6 months for that matter, since it came out of diapause, that it was real difficult to film them. But there you go, guys. Most people that look at these videos that aren't into ants, when they see it's funny the reaction when they see these videos or they see photos of the honeypots. They see the gaster portion of it. They don't realize that's a real ant, and it's always funny when when you get their reaction that no, that's an ant. That's the rear end of an ant, if you will. And it's kind of neat here where you can actually see the main body of the ant, opposed to just the gaster. It's also interesting the color difference. I feed these guys honey. Haven't fed them sugar water in a while. It's been predominantly honey, and I water it down, get the honey in there, put a couple drops of water, mainly just so I can get a better, different consistency, so it's not as gooey and it comes off. And a lot of that's been just out of necessity. The pure honey, it's gooey, and I use just a little can't use my skewer, sorry, a wooden skewer. And because the ants been moving around so much, I have a very limited amount of time that I can open up the lid without them come flying out. So I water it down so I get the drop in there a lot quicker. And I've been just putting it on wax paper. It's the easiest thing. I do use feeding dishes from time to time, but you got to clean them periodically. So I find just a little 1.5 inch square cut of wax paper works really well, and I'm done. I just yank it out. But anyway, yeah, so aside from watering down the honey, but you can see the color's different. I'm sure there's some guts from some insects in there as well. But yeah, that's a good video, or it's a good shot right there of that replete. That's probably the close. That's as much as I can zoom in. Get a better shot of her. And yep, she's just hanging around. And the color is different too. I mean, she's the whole body color is a bit of a brown amber versus the rest of the ants, which are much darker. So it's neat to see that. And I would suspect the queen is in here somewhere since she's on the other nest. But let's go ahead and switch over there. Okay, so got some yummy fruit flies. I want to kind of zoom in on some of the new replete, which you can kind of make one out right there. Unless that is the queen, that might actually be the queen. Nope, that's a replete. Yep, that's a replete. So that is the beginning of a. Sorry, guys. That is the beginning of a. Well, it's not the beginning. I mean, it's a replete. It's just hasn't swollen up yet. But this is what I wanted to see. I want to see new repletes running here. There's plenty of room. Mac designed this just the way I wanted, with a lot of height there, so that the new repletes will have some room to hang. I think I saw one that kind of set up shop. There's another one right there. She's like, get me the hell out of this. What is going on with all this light? Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. She's gone. And I thought I saw another one hanging out somewhere. Let's zoom back out. But yeah, there you go, guys. Honeypot Colony is doing wonderful. Thank you guys all for watching. I truly appreciate it. I love all the comments. Keep that stuff up. And for those before you ask me, no, I'm not going to eat the honeypots. I get comments about that frequently as far as, are you going to eat them? No, I'm not going to eat the repletes. I know what they eat, so I therefore have no interest in eating them. I guess that probably goes for a lot of our food, but I personally know what these guys eat, and I have no interest in consuming the byproduct of what I feed them. So the answer to that question is no, I will not be feeding them. Also, I've been getting a lot of questions. I want to kind of keep this video short, but I guess I'll dive in real quick. I get a lot of people asking me if I'm going to sell these ants. I am not, unless you come at me with an obscenely large amount of money. I've spent a lot of money, getting all the equipment, the nest. I don't even want to venture to guess how much I've spent, but I have spent a decent amount of money, more so than, hobbies are just that way, I guess. But I've spent a lot of money, and it wasn't to make money. It's a hobby. It's, not a business, and I haven't been spending that money in order to turn around and make a profit. I'm doing it because I enjoy the hobby, and I enjoy keeping the ants. and have very, very little interest in selling them unless somebody comes at me with like $1,000, or I probably wouldn't even bite for $1,000. Like I've said in other videos, for those of you that have watched all of them, I've had a fascination with this type of species, the honeypot species, which there are more than just this one, since I was a kid, and the fact that I'm able to keep a colony is just of this species is very cool to me. So, unless somebody actually lives in the Tucson or Arizona, southern U.S. region, offers me a buttload of money, I don't have any intent in selling them. And as far as, I had a guy from the Philippines ask me if I'd sell, and if you're watching, no, for a couple reasons. One, I'm just not interested in selling. Two, this species I highly doubt is indigenous to your region, so therefore by me introducing the species to your region would be very irresponsible. So for that reason, I would not sell it to you. Probably the only, unless somebody offers me an obscene amount of money, probably the only way I'd let this colony go would be to a university. The U of A, I'm out here in Tucson, it's the University of Arizona. I've heard through a mutual friend of mine that they've expressed interest in the species. So I'm going to make a concerted effort to catch some more this monsoon season, and if the University of Arizona get the colony started, and if they still have interest, I would definitely be more than willing to donate a colony to them for their use. But aside from that, very, very little interest in parting with these guys. And I'm just looking down there, and let's see if I can get the right angle in there. But yeah, it's kind of cool to see those newer pleats, and they're going to probably not move much, and the antrids go up there, feed them, and just swell up. So stay tuned for future videos. Guys, as always, thanks for watching.